Hi guys, welcome to the channel. So as a part of this video, I'm going to take a mock interview with one of my subscriber. Her name is Vidya and she is having almost of 2.9 year of experience. So let's welcome her.
Yes, is I'm
Okay.
visible and audible?
Yeah, you are. How
Okay.
are you?
Good evening. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. How about you?
Yeah, I'm good. So your name is Vidya and your total year of experience is 2 years and 9 months, is it?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Uh, are you comfortable?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. You have any question to me before we proceed?
Means why I would like to take this interview means I saw one of your interview video and one of your lesson class. So I really impressed and I just want to know how I know about the manual testing. So I don't know the exact definitions of all, but
I am
I
not
would
looking
test
for any
myself.
definitions. Here, I am not looking for
Okay.
any definition. Definition does not
Yeah.
matter here. It is just,
Okay.
if you have seen my other interview, you would have seen that people will not say me definition, but they will just give me an idea and I will get to know whether they have a knowledge or they don't have. If you have seen my all interviews videos, people will not see me all definition. They will just see me something and I will realize whether they know it or they don't know it. So here I'm not looking for any definitions. I will be asking few questions. I will be expecting some replies. If you say something, I will get to know whether you have a knowledge of that topic or not. That's all. I'm not looking for any bookish maybe that those 4 lines. I'm not looking for that. You're getting me right?
Yes.
Okay.
But I did not see all the things. But yes, of course, I see a few of the videos. It's
Okay.
really great job from your side.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, you can go ahead to introduce yourself then.
Okay, so myself is Vidya. I'm from Karnataka. So currently, I have 2.9 years of experience. So in my current company, I have around 1.3 years of experience. So currently, I'm working on healthcare domain, and our application is CRM.
If I just have to ask, like, have you just worked on a web-based application, or have you worked on API testing, or have you just worked on mobile application?
No, I don't have any idea in the mobile testing. I'm completely worked on web-based applications. So in web-based application also API is there, right? So in the UI, what you are doing, so API should interact with the UI related things to communicate with different modules and all. So those APIs also we are validating. So in our application, APIs means business logic will return in the backend. So that for those things we are using APIs, and UI also some validations will happen for checking dates and field lengths and mandatory fields.
Okay,
Those kinds will uh,
okay, I got it. Since you have worked on API testing, I want to know from your point of view, what do you mean by API?
so so API is a software intermediate. It's used to communicate between the different modules. uh, means what are all the means we will send some request, so based on that request it will give some response. So the request body can we are using JSON object, but it can be XML object also. And in the header we will send some our project related informations, for example what is the project name, and in the header we also provide the authorizations and some trace ID and span ID. That is for our project. Trace ID and span ID, they are particularly used to track some issues, means whenever any issues comes, so why exactly that issue happens, to track that one they will use trace ID. So we will pass that some 32 random digit trace ID, and once we hit that request body, we will get some response in the API. So we are going to validate that one. And sometimes we will get bad request also if we are sending a wrong object. And sometimes we also get unauthorized. We are sending some what, access to invalid access token if we pass. And sometimes we also get internal server error and
Yeah.
500 gateway.
I don't want to know about which all HTTP errors that you get it. Okay, I was just trying to understand in a very easy language. What do you mean by API? What is API? What is application programming interface? What it do? Or if you don't know this, no matter. If you're seeing any web application, you know that there is a front end and there is a back end, right? What you are able to
Yes,
see with your eyes is your front end, and
front end.
what
Yes,
inside is happening is your back end, right? In these two
yes.
things, front end and back end, which is your API?
Backend is the API.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, so by using that APIs, front end will do some certain operation. So in the front end, we will send the request body. So based on that request body, our backend API will give the response to the front end. They will display that result in the front end.
Okay. And if I have to ask, how do you do API testing? Will you be able to tell me that? How do you do API testing?
So actually in the story, they will mention the URLs and are the links, Swagger links where we get the URLs, and the request body also they will mention in the story, and what is the response and what is the invalid response also. All those things our BAs will given in the stories. So once we get that into the QE, so we will in the postman we will use that URLs, and we will send some header information and exact body what they are given in the story. We will put that one, and we will check the response we are getting the expected result or not. Sometimes in the Swagger also we will check what are all the things they are given in the story, the same standard they are following.
Okay. So you said you will be having some URLs to check it and you will check the response. And will you be only checking request and response? Other than that, will you be checking something else also?
I think so, no.
Okay.
Means
Okay.
in current project we are not validating other than that. Just whatever they are given in the story, we are validating only those things. Means in the wrong error message, if we want to validate, means we will send some invalid request, or some instead of string we will send integer. So that kind of validation we are doing only to check the field related things, but there is no much validation in our APIs, so they are following. So we are not doing much testing in the API side.
Okay. Nothing to worry. Okay. If you hit a particular API and if you're getting a proper response, I
Mhm.
want to know which HTTP method or sorry, which HTTP status code you will be expecting. You are hitting some URL, you are getting proper response. Which HTTP status code you will
Yes,
be getting?
yes, obviously, yes. That is also we are testing. Means for the success message, whether we are getting a 200 response or not. So
Okay, okay,
that is must and should we have to validate.
okay, okay. Tell me one thing. If you're hitting particular API and you are getting 401, what is the meaning of this? Any idea? See, Vidya, if you can let me know any question
For
if I'm asking more from a particular topic. The reason I am asking more question or API testing from you because I saw your resume. You wrote that you have a knowledge of API testing, and all the videos that I've uploaded, it is just web application, mobile application. Since you were a different candidate, so that's the reason I'm asking API testing questions. If you're comfortable answering, well and good. If you're not, we'll move to the next question. Nothing to worry.
yeah, I'm comfortable. No,
Okay,
no
okay,
issues. Yeah,
okay.
I know 401 is for uh, unauthorized.
Okay. Tell me something about it. why you will get 401 and how you will solve this issue.
So usually in our application, why we are getting 401 means whenever we are passing some invalid access token. So we have some access token to access that particular API. So if we are sending that as a invalid, then we will get the 401 unauthorized message. So we will get the correct access token. So getting the correct access token also, we have one API. So in that we have to pass the username and password and what is the project and all. So by using that API, we will get the correct access token and we will pass it in the header. So it will solve our problem.
Okay, okay, I got it. So what you are telling, no, I'm sure that, okay, it is based on your project that you're working on. What answer you have given is 101% correct. But
Okay.
in real world, avoid telling access token and URL and all. You just tell there will be some authorization with the help of which what you have answered is 101% correct. Access token is what
Okay.
I am providing. If you don't provide me access token, I won't be able to open that particular things, right? But if you provide me, I will
Correct.
be able to see that, right? If you don't provide me,
Yes.
I will get 401. If you provide me, I will get 200, right? Whatever you have answered is absolutely
Yes,
correct.
correct.
In a simple language, we say that to avoid 401 unauthorized, we just put the authorization key. That is, it can be anything. It can be your access token that you have said, or it can be anything key or a value with the help of which this issue get resolved. Am I right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
100%.
I want to know, you are hitting a particular API and you are getting maybe 404. I want to know when you will get 404 and how you will solve this issue.
404. 404 is for the bad request, whether we are our
No.
URL is wrong or no. Okay,
I mean,
great.
see, you are, I mean, try once again. If you are wrong, I will correct.
Okay. 404. Yes, 100% we got this 404, but I could not remember this one. 404 is for it's not for bad request.
Okay, for not actually bad request is 400.
Oh, okay.
I mean, whatever the
400 is
request you are
for
putting
bad
is
request.
itself is wrong. And as
Yeah,
you know
then
that 400 is your bad request, you know that 401 is unauthorized, as you just said me. Your 403 is forbidden, and your 404 is
forbidden. Yeah.
not found. The reason you have heard this, not found, 404.
Yeah, correct. Means instead of in UI they're displaying page not found, in our application they're sending some oops, something went wrong. Maybe that is also 404.
Okay, how you will resolve this issue? If you have done API testing and you are hitting a particular URL or a particular API and you are getting 404 not found, how you will solve this issue?
404. I really don't know because whenever we get this one, we will report to our developers. See, we are getting the 404 like this,
Okay.
but they will help us to solve this one.
I got it.
Exact solution, I forget actually. Sorry.
There is there is nothing like exact solution. What you can do from next time, if you're getting 404, you will be knowing that what will, when you are entering a particular URL, how does your URL looks like? Your URL looks like, if you're working in some ABC company, name of the company is ABC. How does your URL looks like? https://abc.com. And then let's say if you're trying to create a user, it will be /create/users, right? Am I right? Your
Yes,
URL
correct.
is like that, right? And let's suppose you're trying to create a user and your URL should be create users, USERS. If you are entering a URL with create, instead of users, if you're putting only user, USER, it does not exist, right? It does not exist. In that case, you will get
Yes.
404. Getting me right?
Yes. Correct.
Okay. In that case, nothing much to do. You told that you have a Swagger, right? Where you will go and check list of URLs that developer has given, right? You told me, right?
URLs.
Yes, you can go
Yes.
there
Yes.
and check the URLs, and you can check if you are pasting the same thing in your in your Postman header or in a Postman URL. That's all.
Correct.
Okay, okay, nothing to worry. I just want to know, have you ever faced 500 series HTTP status codes while doing an API testing? It may be 500, it may be 501, it may be 503, 502. Any 500 series, have you got it?
Yes, we got it 500 and 504. 504 is for the gateway timeout, means whenever our API is in the queue, Solace queue, so
Mhm.
that time we will get gateway timeout, and when they are clear that queue and
Okay,
some crashes in the application, so that will solve the gateway timeout. So
exactly.
for 500 also it is a internal server error. So these two things we cannot do anything actually. So our developer has to help. Something is wrong in the backend side.
Okay, okay. Internal server error. Okay. See, 500 is something, no? Okay. See, when you're hitting some particular API, and if your API is responding with 500, your 500 is nothing but some app error. That means
Hmm.
whatever the whatever the URL that you are hitting, it is responding with some exceptions. You're getting me right? Exceptions.
Okay.
That okay. I want
Yeah.
to know
Yeah.
when a
So in the
particular
response
application.
also we will show some Java exceptions.
Correct, correct, correct. I want to know when you're hitting a particular API and API is not responding correctly, what you will do? You will go to the application logs and check or not.
Sorry, come again once again.
If you're playing with some API and
Mm-hmm.
you have hitted it, you have not received 200. You have got
Mm-hmm.
500 error. Don't you go to the
Mm-hmm.
application and check the application logs?
No, no, we don't have any access to the logs. Means PCFs and all only they given access to the developers, so they will check that logs and all. We are not, but
Maybe you are
unfortunately, we
not
are not
used to
seeing.
see. Is it the case?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
correct.
okay, okay, got it.
Means that application crash and all, if memory exists in the PCF and all, we will see, but we won't clear that one. So we
I
will
got it.
report to the developers.
Okay,
So this is the things is happening in the backend side. Can you please just look into it?
I
We'll do
got it. I
that
got
one.
it. Vidya, going forward, no. I mean, you're currently working. I mean, you have a job in your hand.
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, going forward, whenever you are getting 500 errors, I will suggest you not to go to the developer, but I will suggest you to go to the application logs. If you open application logs and if you're getting 500 error, that means whatever the developer has written the code, it is breaking somewhere. If it is breaking somewhere, you would have got some exceptions. Exceptions can be your null pointer exception, or it can be anything. If you just show that exception, if you just copy and paste that exception in your bug or your any bug tracking tool you will be using, right? If you just copy paste in the description
Yes.
with some little description, and if you just assign it to him, your problem is resolved. You need not go to the developer and ask him, can you please check the application logs? I mean, I was also doing it long back. I have left it. You also follow the same. It will be good for you. I mean, uh, it will be good for you, right? You need not depend
Yes.
on anyone. So you can go to the
Yes.
application logs. Tell me, tell me.
But what we are doing means whenever we get that 500 and 504, we will send some trace ID, right? So
Exactly.
that trace ID, exact trace ID, we are put it in the bugs in the Jira. So by using that trace ID, they will directly get the logs.
Got it. Got it. Understood. Understood. Yeah, that's one of the method. Absolutely correct. But what I'm saying is, you will also get to know which all exceptions are coming. I mean, tomorrow you will
Okay.
maybe having 3 years of experience. You are almost 2.9, right? You will be having 3 years of experience. Anyone can ask you which all exceptions you have faced it while finding any bug. And that will be easy for you to answer, right? Do you
Yeah.
agree with me?
Yeah, I will. Means
Okay.
even though we have a opportunity, we are not seeing that's our fault.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got it. No issues, no issues. It happens. When I was, I mean, when I joined a particular company, even I was not saying that. I was depending on my senior QA or maybe my test lead. But with time to time, you learn many things, right? So this is the right time for you to learn it. No issues, no issues, no issues. I want to know, when you do API testing, have you ever used headers?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell
So
me more about it?
in the headers, we need to pass some project related information, authorizations, and project name. So trace ID and span ID. Only these four things we are passing. Only if we are passing those informations in the header, then only we will get the response. That
Mhm.
should be must and should in the headers. It's from UI also, means you in the UI also, whatever the response we are seeing in the network console, so they are also passing some header informations.
Okay, I got it. Okay, so you said me that when you're passing any API, when you're calling any particular API, you're passing some headers, right? You said me 4 parameters, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
these four
correct.
parameters are, when I talk about your company, when I talk about the company you're working for.
Keys and values
Yeah, yeah, keys and
in
values.
the
Correct, correct, absolutely correct. See,
yeah.
yeah, you are absolutely correct. I will just add few points from my side. When
Okay,
developer is developing any API, he will develop the API, he will develop the particular URL, and he will add some headers. That is, he will add some particular key and value to be added in each of the call for this particular API to respond. In your company, you are telling that
correct.
you are passing 4 headers, right? So
Yeah,
yeah, that's what you got me, right?
yes, got it.
Okay, okay. I want to know, uh, you are having a existing application or existing application that you are testing in your company, and now developer has given you the new build with some new features in it. uh, how do you proceed your testing? Or when developer is giving you some new feature to test it, you in your company, BA is there, BA, business analyst or product manager? Okay.
Yeah, so whatever our company is, right? So that is the so we are custom means client for the one of the company. So we are working for their application actually. So that application is the product for that particular company. So even though we are servicing them, so we are call it as a service based company, but our application is product based.
Yeah, most of the companies are like that.
So that's why.
If you want to know which all companies are product based, Amazon in Bangalore, it is there, it is product based. You see Flipkart, right? It is totally
Yeah,
product based.
my previous company.
Okay.
Yeah, I worked in one of the product-based company,
Okay.
so I know there is no much roles
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
in
you
that
will be knowing
company.
the difference, right? Okay, that's totally okay. So what I was asking is, when a new feature is getting added to the existing application of your the company you're working for, does this product manager, he tells you in advance that a new feature is getting developed by your developers, or you come to know about the new feature when developer is giving you the build?
No. Means in the previously only we come to know, means what are all the in the
Okay,
particular current sprint we need to develop, that is already groomed and designed and discussed and story pointed in the previous sprint.
got it, got it, got
So
it.
that particular things they are developed. Once the developer is developed, they are demoing the functionality in the integration environment. So once we approve that build, then only they will move it to the QA.
Got it. So my question was, my second question, which I asked you first, when you are working in
Mhm.
some application and developer is giving you a new build with some new feature,
Mhm.
how you will proceed your testing? What and all things you will be doing it when a new feature is coming to the existing application?
So first we need to check whether all the basic and critical functionality is working
Vidya,
fine.
Vidya,
So then we'll
uh,
go with, uh-huh.
Vidya, you don't tell me from this company point of view how you do it, because you might be following some
Mhm.
different method or something. I want to know from testing perspective how you should do it.
Yeah, once we get the any means in any of the testing, once we get the build, we need to test whether that eligible for means complete testing, means all the basic and critical functionality is working fine. So once we get that assurance, then only we'll move forward for the rest of the things. So we will completely test that new functionality. Along with that old functionality, we will run some regression suits. So then we will get to know so that this particular build will not affect the old functionality. So to make sure that we will also run the regressions of old functionality, and whatever the bugs getting in the regression steps, we need to rise that one also. And in the new functionality also, whatever the bugs we will get, so we have to rise those things.
Okay. So I was expecting, don't you write test cases when a new functionality is coming?
Oh, yes, means yeah, you are right. So we need to identify the scenarios and all, and we need to sit and sort it out. What are all the scenarios we identified? Whether those are all unique, there is no duplicates. And once we completely identifying those scenarios, we have to write the test cases, and we need to get reviewed from our lead. And once we that thing is reviewed, we need to deploy it in the means published in the repository also. And based on that test cases, we need to execute the what that particular build. And we have to we also do the traceability matrix, means one acceptance criteria at least covered one test cases, like that,
Okay.
to make sure that one.
So you
Yes,
write traceability
exactly.
matrix after test case execution, or is it before one?
Mm, no, before only we have to map it.
Mhm.
All the requirements has to cover the means at least one test cases is there for one particular requirement. So
Got it.
that has to be done before test execution.
Okay, okay, I got it. Tell me frankly, are you doing traceability metrics in this company, or have you worked? Have you? You're not doing, right? Okay, got it. Don't worry, even I have not done it, but
No.
people will ask, right? We have to say something. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, even though even though test cases also, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you need not worry about it, because I will tell you something. Even though tomorrow any person is taking your interview and he will be having 12 years of experience also, even though someone is taking, I don't have 12 years of experience. Don't think that. Even though someone is taking and is asking you, do you do traceability metrics? I'm sure even he would have not done in his life traceability metrics. But when anyone is asking you, I will advise you to just say them that, yeah, I have done it. I mean, to
Yeah.
all the viewers who are watching this video, never tell that you have not done it. Say you have done it. It will save your job. You have to say that. That's fine. After test case execution, what will happen?
So once the test case execution is happened, then defect tracking.
Okay.
So once we completely that functionality is bug free, then we will move it to the higher environments. And we also do the retro meetings. what went
Good.
well, what we need to improve, and what went wrong.
Okay. Do you know what is hotfix?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Okay,
if
okay, 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 okay.
means
Okay, okay, okay.
whenever,
Okay, my question is, if you know what is hotfix, have you ever done testing for this particular hotfix?
yes,
Okay, tell me
yes,
about it.
obviously. So hotfix is kind of means whenever we deployed something in the higher environment, something is goes wrong. So then they are immediately ask us to do some hotfix in the particular defect. So our developer will do the particular mm, defect fixing of that particular defect, and once they fix that defect they will move to the QE environment. So we have to test that particular defect, so that exact build means version, that build version they are go and deploy it in the higher environments, and in the QA environments whatever they are deployed before this hotfix, they will remove all those versions and they take this particular version and deployed in QA. The same thing they were going to deploy in the rest of the higher environments. And in this particular hotfix, we are not validating only the hotfix related thing. So to make sure that particular hotfix is not make another main functionality breaking, means that is also we need to cover. So we will run the regression also, and we will analyze the report before promoting that particular hotfix to the higher environments.
Okay. Yeah, great. I wanted to know, when you're testing something and you're telling that before taking it to the live or before taking it to the production, you will also test it in the higher environment, right?
Yeah.
And what do you call that higher environment? What do you call it in your company?
So one is UAT, another one is demo, then perf, pre-prod, prod.
Testing your product in your testing environment and then to the UAT environment or whatever you have said it, then why hotfix will come?
Sorry, I did not get you. Means something in the deployment to the higher environments, they're missing something, means then even though that is passing in the QA, so
Hmm.
that might be fail in the higher environments. That is also a chance.
Hmm.
And we raise the regression defect, but the product team does not know we are already raised the defect for this particular thing. So once they are testing in the higher environments, they come to know this is the major issue for the production. So they will come up with that particular thing. So let's fix this first, like that.
Mm, yeah, fine, fine. I want to know, what do you mean by bug leakage?
Bug leakage means so the bugs it's
What happened?
going out from QA environment to higher environments. We did not find that bug, but our TPS, our product analyst, our product owner will find that bug in the higher environment. So that is the bug leakage.
Okay, and that's the reason you will get hotfix, is it?
So not exactly that cases we are doing hotfix actually. So as I said, we already raised the defect in QE environment, but they might not aware of that particular defect. So they will come to know, okay, this is the major thing. So then that in that cases also they will come up with a hotfix.
Mm-hmm.
Frankly telling, our application is went to live this month, September 14th.
Okay. Okay. So you will be having a sprint for how many days?
It's for 15 days, means it's for 2 weeks in that 10 days.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Got it. Got it. Do you write test cases for your API testing?
Yeah, obviously, the story is related to API. We have to write test cases.
Okay. I want to know, what do you mean by fatal defects? Fatal defects.
Fatal defects. No, I did not come across this terminology.
Okay. Fatal defects. Fatal defects is nothing but it is the other name given to a blocker defects. That's all, nothing much.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I want to know if you can just give me two biggest advantages of using a test case design techniques.
Okay. Means there is a chance of losing. For example, if you take the boundary value analysis, there is no many test cases. Even though means that particular field is accepting 0 to 300 characters, there is no need of writing 300 test cases. So by using boundary value analysis, we can minimize the test cases. So that is the one of the advantage, and we can cover up the positive and negative scenarios by using error guessing method. And in the equally partition also, we will come up, means we will obviously reduce the test cases and our effort if we are using that one, means, and we will get the exact scenarios to write the test cases. What else?
Yeah, that's
I think so
good.
right
That's good.
now
That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, so that's all from this interview. I was really happy with you. You have a good knowledge. In fact, I thought that you won't be able to answer questions on API testing, but you answered it. I really liked it. Frankly speaking, if you are a person who is having a 2 or 3 year of experience, and if you are getting a knowledge on API testing, this is one of the best advantage for your career, because if I have done API testing, definitely I can mention mobile testing or web-based application testing in my resume, right? But if
Yes.
someone has not done API testing at all, he can't write that.
Correct.
What I'm saying is, your web-based application or mobile-based application, in this mobile, lot of apps are there. I'm using app. Customer is using some application. What he's doing, he's nothing but he's using the application, right? So what I'm saying is, any tester,
Correct.
if you are getting a chance to work on API testing, it is a biggest advantage for your career. If you're getting this advantage in less than 3 years, because you can mention tomorrow in your resume that you know the knowledge of API testing, and you also know web-based application testing or mobile-based application testing. Even though you have not worked on web-based application or mobile application testing, and you have worked only with API testing, you can still mention it because you know how to use a particular application, right? So I'm really happy with you. Whatever the answers you gave was quite impressive. Wherever some idea was required from my point of view, I gave it to you. I'm sure you will be happy with that.
Yes, exactly.
If any suggestion you want from my side, you can let me know.
So I taken this interview only because I quite impressed by seeing these videos, and I need to prepare myself for the further interviews. I need to check my confidence level. Because of that, I taken this interview. Currently, I have job. I don't have any pressure situation to look forward the change. But
Got
I need some change. I'm quite mm, uh, good with this project. I need to learn something else.
Mhm.
Uh, mobile automation or something new I have to learn. So
Okay.
that's why I'm looking for the change. So I
Uh,
need some frank suggestion from you, where and all I need to improve.
so from this 2.9 years, you are working in the same company? Oh, sorry, this is your second company, is it?
Yes, this is the second company, and rest of my experience is product based company.
Got it. Got it.
So
Uh,
there I completely work on automation, not the manual testing.
got it. Got it. Got it. If you're getting offer letter from one company, you will be serving notice period, right, in this company after
Yes,
getting a first
exactly.
offer letter from one company. So I'm not sure your notice period will be for 30 days or 60 days. How many days it will be? In those 30 days or 60 days, you keep searching job until you get a good package. So this is what I do. I mean, this is what I suggest to my people. If you're getting an offer letter from one company, in your notice period, do not settle. try to get more package, more package, more package. And that's the key to success. I mean, I wish you a good health.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye bye. Thanks for your time.
Bye bye. Take care.